Hi there everybody, today I'm going to show you how to create an animated gun. So basically a gun that which will fire a shot across the screen, and when it fires a gun, it will explode, bullet will go fly out, and some text will come out as follow it. Alright, so that's essentially what we're going to go for. Um, so as usual, got a blank screen, presentation available. I'm going to remove the standard title and subtitle which are on there, and as usual I also have my grid lines and guidelines kind of presented, so you can see, well, help me align things a little bit. So I'm going to start off by just creating a gun, essentially with shapes, because I don't think they provide an icon with a gun. So I'm going to use a couple of parallelograms to do that. So I'll start off like so, and then I'm going to do another one which is a little bit smaller, which will come up here, and then we're going to do another one which will be the pistol bits, the long part of it. So basically three different ones, and then I'm also going to just add a little trigger to it. So I'm going to add a little curved shape like so, and I'm going to turn it like that. So I'm going to put it in. So now the kind of looks roughly like it, but I'm going to create it into one shape. So just selecting them all, I'm going to shape, I'm going to merge the shapes in union, and there we have my gun. And you can spend quite some time playing around with trying to perfect your gun, but right now it does what I want it to do. So that's my start, and all I'm going to do is change it to a dark grey. Okay, so that's kind of my gun. So that's my starting point. So I've started off, and I can shrink it a little bit actually. I want to make it a little bit smaller. And if I do that, notice it did slant a little bit, so I'm just going to correct it so it goes straight across. So that's my gun. Right, so what I want to do now is create an animation which makes it look like it's firing. So there's a couple of elements to the firing gun. Is the bullet itself, and of course the explosion which will come out at the end of the gun. So I'll start off with the explosion. So I'm going to insert a shape, which kind of replicates an explosion. So essentially, the one that says explosion is probably a good one to go for. And I'm going to put that at the end of the gun. It's a bit like the old Batman crash bang wallop style thing. So I'm going to put that at the end. I don't really want a line on the outside of it, but I do want to kind of create it so it looks like an explosion. So the colours essentially. So I'm going to go for a gradient fill. And I'm going to choose the radial one, so from the middle to the outside, so to speak. So I'll make sure I kind of get that. And then, of course, I want to pick the colours that which reflect that. So I'm probably going to go for a red, a deep red in the middle, and then it kind of going to a light yellow on the outside. And I don't need blues, essentially. So something like that. If I just zoom in a little bit, I'm just going to change the edges, so that it kind of has a a well, just like I say glow effect. I actually want a yellow, really. Yeah, that, and I want it small, really. And I also probably want to add the edges, soft edges, because I don't think anything has a perfect edge to it. So that will probably do. Make it a little bit bigger. And again, I'm not too worried about it being perfect. Maybe about that. Because I said we're only going to see it for a split second. So that's the first bit. So I've got my explosion. Again, you can toy around with that a little bit if you want to change it a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. So what I wanted to do, and trying to think about explosion, it's going to come in very fast from nothing. So in terms of animations, I want it to um, zoom in very fast. So zoom in like so. Um, but I want it to be very fast indeed. So I'm going to change it to 0.2 essentially. Um, Once it's shown, I almost immediately want it to disappear. It literally will be here and go. So I'm going to add another animation to it. This time I'm going to use the dissolve one, which is, don't think it's part of the standard one, so there's more exit effects. And where is it? It should be dissolve out. There we go, dissolve out. Okay, so I wanted that one to start after the previous one, and I also want it to be also very, very quick. So 0.2 seconds as well, or 0.2 seconds. So duration 0.2. Um, so it's just almost basically come and explode. All right, so if I just play that really quickly and I press enter, it explodes. You might even go less, actually, because you might actually want it to. I'll go with the previous, and this time I'm going to delay it 0.1, so almost straight away. So let's have a look how that looks. Yep, that does me nicely. Now the other thing that's missing here, of course, is I said the bullet. So I want to insert a shape. Well, there's a nice one that looks like a bullet already. A shape, I believe. It's kind of a curved edge rectangle, similar to this one, but not this one. It's down here somewhere, if I can see it. Can't see for looking. I mean, oh, there, that's it there. So that type of shape. There you go. Probably a bit big. And of course, I'm going to change my bullet to a nice grey. Okay, I don't mind on the having the border tall this time, but of course I'm going to make it significantly smaller. And I'm going to position it over here. The minute it's in front, and I don't really want to see it, I will get rid of the border because it looks like it's blue. So it's going to appear from somewhere around here. Just move this out of the way a second, so probably around about there. And what I want to do is I want to add an animation. Add animation. I don't want it basically shoot to the right. So I'm going to add a motion path, and it's going to be right. And of course, it's going to go not just there, it's going to go all the way to the end, basically off screen. In terms of the animation, I'll go to animation pane and double click it, because what I want this to do is I don't want a smooth smart smooth. It's going to fire out almost immediately. And in terms of the timing, I want it to be with the previous one. It needs to be with the same time as the other one, and I want it to be literally across the screen within a half a second or something like that. So if I try that, so there we go. So let's just try those together. So press OK, fire, and it goes across. And go back, fire, and it goes across. So it was at the front, but of course I don't want it to be at the front. So I want to send my bullet to the back. So if it's coming out from it, and if I try it one more time, you ready? On 3, 2, 1, shoot, and the bullet kind of goes across. So that's my bullet effect. But what's missing, I said about adding some text to it, so I would usually add some text to it so that basically the bullet goes across, and as the bullet goes across, you see some text appearing. So I'm going to add a text box over here, and then said, and do you know what? I'm going to call it bullet point number 1 for um, fun. Bullet point number 1. It makes sense, doesn't it? Bullet point number 1. Get it? Okay. I'll be quiet now. So make that bigger. Okay, so bullet point number 1. And then in terms of appearing, want it to appear. So I'm just going to put it to the right hand side over here. So I want it to appear just as my bullet goes past it, and I want it to kind of wipe in as my bullet goes past it. So the animation I want for this one is I want it to wipe in, but not from the bottom, from the left, like that. But of course, faster. So I want it with the previous, and I almost want it to be towards the back end. So literally about 0.3 seconds there. So let's try this, see what it looks like. So shoot, bullet goes across, and of course, text just almost immediately. So that's really, really good. I like it. So it shoots, bullet point number 1. Shoots, bullet point number 1. And of course, I could repeat this quite simply. So I've obviously got more than one points that I want to make. So I could create a second one. Just another line and align them. Make sure to align them. So use the guidelines to help me. So it's going to be around about there. And then what I can do is, rather than doing it each time, I can copy both of them now and do it twice, and that'll give me 3 and 4. And it might be that I have. Well, I can I squeeze 6 on here? Bit of a squeeze, probably not. I reckon I'm going for 5. So let's get rid of this last one. Get rid of this last one. It lets me get rid of this last one. And there we can potentially look to align them a little bit better. So I'll do that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to align these, and then once I've aligned these, help me align the guns. So home, arrange, align, distribute vertically, so they're all nicely aligned there. And then what I want to do is the bottom looks okay. Then this one just needs to be, again, I'm looking at the line that goes across through the middle of the bullet. And then I'm going to do the same for this one. So it just kind of moves down. So again, what I'm looking at is the line here. So it goes right through the middle of the letter B, essentially. And then that for that one. And then finally, the beginning one. Well, that's probably okay. So now should have a bunch of bullet points aligned. And if I go through all of them, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully in order. We'll see. So we've got the bullets. Oh, the bullets are all off, aren't they? Look, no, that's not great. So let's kind of rearrange the bullets. So the bullet, oh, let's just select the bullet. So the bullet needs to go up there. I wonder why that was. Bullet needs to go there because the guns are alright, aren't they? And then this bottom one was okay actually. Right, so let's try that now. So let's have a quick look. Oh, the bullet's still not there. Still not in the right place, is it? For this one. So let's move that there. Oh, I think I just moved the animation rather than the bullet itself. Look there, you can see the animation. I'm just going to so you can tell. So you can see the animations there, but the bullet point's not. So I've moved the animation rather than the bullet point. So I want to move the animation back there. Let's have a look at that now. So the bullet. So it's just that one at the top, isn't it? Here, this one. So let me just try and select that bullet, move it up, and then yeah, I need to move the animation. So a little bit of jiggery pokery as usual with some of these things, trying to align them perfectly. So let's try it. So boom, bullet point number 1. That should probably say number 2. I don't think that's aligned anymore. 3, this looks okay. 4 looks probably roughly about right, but I think there's a couple there that were a little bit off. Hopefully you'll notice. Yep, there you go. Look. So let's move this a little bit further down to match it there. And you can see here, this one also is not quite aligned with the bullet. So let's move the bullet. No, moving the animation. So this is where you need to be careful. And make sure I need to move the bullet itself up. And the animation is now starting too high. So you need to be really careful with some of these. And that looks better. And then this bullet point looks like it's going into God knows where. It's going really high up, isn't it? For some reason. Right, let's try this one more time. So 1 looks good, 2 looks good, 3 looks good, 4 looks pretty good, and 5 looks pretty good. So there we go. So very, very straightforward, very kind of quite simplistic way of showing some bullet points using kind of shape created gun and obviously some animations. Well, I say some animations. Basically, like an explosion shape and a bullet to kind of make it look like it's kind of showing the shape as it goes across. So that is it for today's lesson, for this video. Hope you found that really useful. But I will see you again on the next video, and if I can create some more content, I will certainly add it to the resource. Thanks for watching.